All right, thank you, Sherman. It's Ryan Mano backstage at the Aragon Brawl Room. That's old school. Brawl Room. It was you know what I just found? I'm with My Chemical Romance. Hi, guys. Hey,
hello.
This is big. I'm with Mikey and Ray, and I just found this out tonight. Like, back in the 40s, like, this was the place to be in Chicago. Like, Glenn Miller Orchestra would play here, and like everybody would flock here and ballroom dance out on that floor.
Wow. This is amazing. Like, it's always great to play, venues that have a lot of history, that look lived in, and I mean, from the outside and on the inside, they might look a little run down, but there's always a vibe and an energy about places like that, and you can feel the same thing here.
Yeah, it's always crazy because like Chicago was the first city to embrace us. Like there was New Jersey, and then Chicago was the next to our hometown.
And I'll bet you I was at most of those early gigs.
It's just crazy because like Chicago and the UK were the two things away from home that like
always felt like
had our back, and we look forward to all of our Chicago shows.
Yeah. Well, two things there. First of all, it's nice to hear a history in a venue. Like, a lot of people take that for granted. This place was like rocking in the 40s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's become something different now, so it's cool to appreciate that. The other thing, like, a lot of bands do say that Chicago's sort of a litmus test where if you can come here and you can make these kids move, like, you're doing something right.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like Mikey was saying, like our fans and kids in Chicago and, have been some of the most supportive and best, that all over the world. And, it's always a pleasure to come here. We always have a great time.
And I get the feeling that you're not just saying that.
No, it's
a lot
totally
of
true.
Like,
a couple of years ago, we played a show with the Used at the Metro.
I was there.
And it was our first big show. I remember walking into the Metro and we were like, holy crap, this venue's enormous, and like everybody there was so welcoming, and like kids got so into it and made us feel. That was like the first time I think any of us signed any autographs or anything like that.
Totally.
And yeah, I mean they just showed the love. So
yeah, we saw some of them at the signing today, actually, like just kids from the past.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Do you recognize? Like, can you recognize those faces?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
do they leave an imprint where it's like hard to shake them?
There's definitely a lot of kids, especially especially if we've talked to them after the shows and stuff. Like you get to know them, and you get to learn their personalities.
Yeah.
You'll see their faces in the front row, and I mean, it's always nice to make that connection. Like 5 years down the line, they're still with us. They're still coming to the shows.
That is awesome. So everyone listening to this right now, they remember you, and they're not lying. So that's
like when we came here, like we were saying, we came here, and there was kids that hung out. We had, like we were like strangers in Chicago, and these kids would like come out and bring us food and like hang out with us. We'd go places. It was rad, and they're still with us.
That's awesome.
It's insane.
And Ray, you just talked about how you can feel something in a building, like, and I mean, was that place where you guys recorded the record? Like, was there some legitimate stuff going on? Who had to leave? Didn't someone leave?
Yeah, that was me.
Was that like, was it for real? Like, was that like a strange?
There was definitely some negative, some energy there. Like some kind of force, and I mean, sometimes we would, you would hear like doors slamming out of nowhere, and sometimes voices. You'd hear, water would be running in Bob's room, and there was definitely some mystical forces going on there. But we came through it, and came through stronger.
And I think it. Well, go ahead.
No, I was saying I just remember Papa Roach stayed in there right before us, and their album's called Paramore.
The Paramore demos.
Yeah, the Paramore something, and the drummer.
He had your room.
Yeah, he comes up to us. He's like, "Who had the blue room?" And I put my hand on my forehead. And then my brother nudged him, like, he was like, and he's like, oh, nothing.
Oh, my God. So he must have had
some
like
kind of
similar
story.
experience.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of times I slept on my brother's floor. He was in the room. There's like a bathroom in between them. I would sneak in his room and go on the floor.
Strange forces, man.
Well, that's cool. I mean, and I think, it obviously had an effect on the finished product, I think. I mean,
yeah, I think it did. Like some of the more darker material was written there, and I think once we got out of that place, and kind of got out of that place, and we stayed at the Oakwoods Apartments, which it was just nice to get out of there, and just get into a more comfortable environment, and I think the song, the lyrics, the music too, kind of took a turn for the better as well. So
well, and you guys haven't. I mean, I've talked to you guys like since the record's been out, but I mean, you couldn't. There's no way to be prouder of what you made. Like, you made...
Thank you.
I mean, essentially a masterpiece. Like
Thanks, man.
yeah, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better record. So
yeah,
congrats.
Everybody, everybody in the band and who worked on the record, everybody busted their ass,
Yeah.
And
working with Rob probably wasn't a bad thing. I mean,
he
that
was
guy's
great. He's just
money.
I mean, his thing is
he really is.
His thing is just being supportive of the band and doing what the band wants and not making it a fight, not making it an argument.
Yeah.
It's just. If this is what the band wants, let's do it, and if it works, it'll work. If it doesn't, we'll know.
I'm really happy for you guys that it's actually cemented now, where you felt like that vibe was there, and you felt like it was going to happen, and like it happened, and these kids believe, and they're out en masse, and like you've got your thing going, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's just great.
Another amazing thing about Rob, though, I mean, like people are like, oh, he's an incredible producer, one of the top in his field, which is true, but even when you take the music out, he was like one of our best friends. You know what I mean? And he's one of the few people you run into that's like completely genuine and like cares about the band. You know what I'm saying?
You can't ask for anything more. So I had dinner with Tim and Joe from Rise Against tonight, and they're like, "Did you guys announce it today? We're going on tour with them." So that's awesome.
Yeah, we're very
Those guys
psyched
are my
about
boys.
that.
I used to live with Tim, so
oh really?
So
yeah, we're really psyched. They're one of those. It's just exciting to see them getting some, attention, well deserved, because they've been making great records.
And they've got something to say, which
and that's
is so
really
important.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They shared when we did the 2004 Warped Tour a couple of years back. They shared the side stage with us, and we were so psyched to be playing with them. Like we were like, oh, there's another band. They have something to say.
Yeah, absolutely,
it's amazing.
The band just brings it live too.
We're getting the rap sign, so I got to go. I also wanted to tell you, dude. I read the Rolling Stone thing, and I found out I used to sell bootleg Disney DVDs.
Oh wait, you're not supposed to announce that?
No, my brother dropped it. I mean,
you're gonna have FBI knocking on your door.
It was close,
but it's over. You were 15.
It was close to a decade ago.
Yeah, we'll drop it, but I think that's hilarious, and that's how you paid to get your ass into Smashing Pumpkins show.
Yes.
So credit, you did the right thing.
That's how I got to.
You guys, I love you. I love you to death, and you guys are always good to talk to, and we're happy to have you here at Twisted. So play well.
Thank you. We will.
Thank you.
Blow it up.
Thanks a lot.